You're trying to kind of find that perfect balance, and I don't think you really do. It's kind of like, some things. Sometimes it's a little bit up, sometimes a little bit down, and I think you become. And you said settle. I think sometimes the words mess us up, right? Like when we say, "Oh, I had to settle for this," or "I had to settle for that." People sometimes look at that negatively, right? Like you didn't get the result you wanted, but you settled for this, right? I think maybe you looking at it as I'm satisfied here, right? Like, yeah, sure, I could build a business that is ends up becoming a publicly traded company, but in order to do that, I would have to spend, like you said, maybe 60. It's going to be probably more than that, but let's say 60 hours a week building this business, which means I don't have time for the family that I'm building also at the same time. So then maybe I don't do that, right? Maybe I'm satisfied with just a really good company and that is beloved in my neighborhood, right? Like we service the needs of the people in the community. My mortgage is paid, the bills are paid. We're not living check to check. My kids are taken care of, and I get to coach the team. Matter of fact, my business sponsors the little league team, so my kids gets a hoodie with my company name on the back of it. Like, and that's beautiful. That's happy. I don't have to have, I don't need my company to be the biggest whatever in the
Yeah,
world in order
and
to
have
be
a private
happy.
jet. Now, let me tell you, and these men that my friends, and I would certainly say they are good fathers and they have good relationships with their kids, and it's not that. But we all know that people can have terrible relationships with their kids, and
Right.
fortunately, they don't fall into that category. But it's a much more difficult, it's a much more difficult balancing act.
Yeah.
When you talk about the scales of justice and the balance scales of balance, I've come up with another metaphor for that. The lava lamps and those bubbles that goes bigger and smaller. So that's what happens in life. Hey, sometimes the equipment's gonna break down at the plant, and you got to be there, and that lava lamp bubble of the business is bigger. But then you have to make sure it goes down to the right size. And so it just doesn't always stay. So it's not always going to be like this. You're right. You say sometimes they shift around. So I go, it's like the bubbles in a lava lamp. And that's how your priorities just morph around. Look, you're going to get the call. Your mom's in the hospital. You're going to drop everything and go there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Even
like
even
that.
when even if you're very busy at work.
I like that visual too, because it's kind of always moving, right? It's kind of constantly flowing. It's not one of those situations. I think sometimes we think, oh, I'm gonna get the business to this point and then, right? But it's not. There's, it's always moving. It's a constantly moving target, and life is happening while you're trying to hit that target. It's like pulling an arrow back, and like you've got water splashing your face, and the wind is blowing, and you're trying to hit a target, and it just it's probably
Yeah.
better to look at it as everything is happening all at once, and it's not maybe about balancing, and it's more about harmony, right? And kind of finding where
Right.
everything fits into
Good
place.
word.
And every part is important, right? Like if we talk like a barbershop quartet, right? They sing in harmony. The guy who sings with the I forgot the names of the types of voices, but the guy with the
Yeah.
bass, like he may not be your lead singer, but he's extremely important, and he's keeping the bass line, and the guy who is maybe the lead, he has a point where he steps in and he goes for a solo, but all of it fits into the whole piece of the quartet, right? Like there's no one part of the quartet that's more important than the other. They all work together in harmony. And I think that's kind of how we have to start looking at it is it's not work or versus life. It's just life. Like it's all just life.
Exactly. Exactly. I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's life. They're all going to be there, and they're all going to be working at all different points together.